Hi, I'm Rita. Welcome back to my booktube channel, Life Worth Reading. So today I'm pretty much going to be going through my July, but like overall summer TBR. And the sole purpose of this TBR is to end my reading slump because I have been in the biggest reading slump of my entire life. I haven't read a single book since like the end of May. And so yeah, like it's been over a month since I've read anything pretty much. And I want to get back into reading so badly because I want to start making videos again more regularly. And I just feel like I can't do videos because I have nothing to talk about because I haven't been reading, if that makes sense. And so yeah, like the whole purpose of this little TBR, because I don't want to overwhelm myself, is to hopefully end my reading slump and get me back into reading because I need it so bad. Also, whenever I'm in a reading slump, I always want to pick up like physical books, and I don't have that many physical books that I haven't read yet because I haven't been buying books, and so I only have like a short stack here. But let's go through it now and let's see what I'll hopefully be reading this summer starting this month. Also, I will be picking one or two tarot cards because that is my brand. That's what we're here for. That's what I usually do with my TBRs. So I'm still going to be picking one or two cards just to keep up with my brand and to help out this TBR. So without further ado, let's just get started. For my physical TBR, I want to start with this book because I've been talking about it for the last few months and I still haven't read it. So I really need to get to it, and that is Ray Berry by Jordan Ifueku. I bought this book March, April, somewhere around that time, and it has been every TBR I've made, like either here on BookTube or like just my internal TBR, just my list of books that I need to read, and I still haven't gotten to it. And so it really needs to happen now. And I don't know, everybody talks about how amazing this book is, and it also gives me like kind of summery vibes, and so I really need to get to it, and I need to hold myself accountable and finally read it. Pretty much this book is about our main character Teresai, that has grown up away from her family, raised only by this woman known as the Lady. And pretty much the Lady, when she like reaches a certain age, sends her to the capital and gives her one job, and that job is to kill the crown prince once she gains his trust. And yeah, like everybody just talks about how incredible this book is, and I truly believe it. It was like everybody's favorite fantasy in 2020, and I am missing out so badly, and I finally will be getting to it this summer and hopefully this month. The next book off of my physical TBR is actually a reread, but I don't know, I feel like whenever I get into a slump, I always feel like rereading some of my favorite books, and it like eases me into getting back into reading. So what I'm trying to read right now is The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, because I talked about this book in my last video, which you can watch, and that is the 7 Books in 7 Days tag that was created by Darian Reeds. And I talked about this book, and it just reminded me of how much I loved it, and I read it last summer, and I was just like, I really want to read it this summer because it has a lot of summery vibes. Like you can feel the heat, the suburban summer, and I really loved reading it last summer. And so I am rereading it now. I am 65 pages into it, and I am trying to finish it this month. So we'll see how that goes, but this book is just so good. It's about a group of suburban moms in the South. I don't actually remember which state they're in, but it's about them, and a vampire moves into their town, and they all have this like little book club where they read true crime and like murder mysteries novels. And so this vampire tries to join their book club, and our main character Patricia is the only one that's really suspicious of this man because nobody else believes her when she says that he's a vampire. And so we just have this badass group of suburban moms fighting this vampire, and it is so good. If you haven't read this book, please do it. I have actually seen a lot of people reading this book now because of Summerween, which is a readathon created by Gabby Reads and Olivia Reads Latte. And this is your chance. If you haven't read this book, read it this summer. You won't regret it. It's so good. Next up, we have the last book in a series that I've been reading for the last couple of months. If you have seen one of my reading vlogs, one of my 24-hour readathons, and that is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, which is the final book in the Raven Cycle series. And I have read the first 3 books. They were all kind of meh. I don't know how to explain it. I like it, but at the same time, there's something that's impeding me from really loving it. And I feel like it was the audiobook experience because I have all the physical books, but for the second and third one, I've listened mostly on audiobook, and I feel like that doesn't really work for this book because I didn't really like the audiobook, and I'm also in an audiobook slump. And so I really want to read this just physically, and I hope that I will love it because the last book was one of the best ones, Blue Lily Lily Blue, and I'm really excited to see how this series will end because I don't know, I want to see what happens to these characters. I have no idea how this series ends, and I really want to get to it, so hopefully that's what I'll be doing this summer. Next up, we have a book that I've been dying to read ever since I bought it as well, and I still haven't because consistency is key, you know, like you just buy books and you never read them, and then you spend all of your time saying that you will read them. And that's pretty much just everything that I do. And so this book is part of that list, and that is Queenie by Candace Carter William. I bought this book earlier this year and I still haven't read it. Why am I like this? I really don't know. But it gives me contemporary summer vibes, and so I really want to get to it. And I want to know what Queenie is about because I know this is a contemporary about her life, her career, love, race, everything about that. And I'm really excited. There's a lot of positive reviews. There are some mixed ones, but it's mostly like just positive reviews for this book. And so I really need to get to it, and hopefully I will love it. And finally, from my physical TBR, I have a book that I purchased most recently, and that is As Filhas do Capitão by Maria Duenas. This book is a translation from Spanish, and I don't think that there's an English translation yet from what I could find. And I usually don't mind reading Portuguese translations when they are in a similar language. I feel like when I read Portuguese translations from English, the story ends up being a little different. Like the writing is never what it is in its original form. But I feel like when it is like Spanish, I've also read Carlos Ruiz Zafon's Portuguese translations, and I really enjoy that because I feel like when it's Spanish, it's similar enough that the writing remains kind of the same. I don't know if I'm explaining that well. I'm probably not. But pretty much this book is about New York City in the 1930s, and this man that owns, I feel like a restaurant. Yeah, a restaurant dies, and so his daughters, I feel like there are 3 or 4. Yeah, there are 3 daughters. They're all sisters, and so they come to New York in the 1930s to manage this restaurant. And I don't know, it really sounded intriguing to me. I love historical fiction, and I don't know, it just seems like also like a beach summer read for me. For some reason, I can't explain it, but I really hope that I love it because this author has a few more books out. So if I really enjoy this one, I will purchase the other ones that she already has. Another book that I want to get to this summer is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, because this romance has everybody talking lately, and I feel like it might be a really, really great summer romance for me to read because I really enjoyed The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren, and I've been looking for books that have the same similar like summer vibe to it, and I feel like this might be the one because everybody's saying that this book is like Friends to Lovers Excellency, and I'm very excited for it, and I just hope that I love it as much as everyone does. And the final book that I really, really need to get to is Ace of Spades, because that is a 2021 new release that has everybody talking. Like everybody adores this book, everybody's giving it 5 stars, and I really want to know what the hype is all about. It's kind of a YA mystery thriller. Some people say that it's like Gossip Girl meets Get Out, and I'm just really intrigued by it. I feel like the synopsis is so interesting, but what really gets me excited for this book is the reviews because everybody is really loving it, and I really do have high hope for this one. So I hope that I love it, and I hope that I can get to it as soon as possible. And the final part of this video will be a little Tarot Books by TBR because that is my brand and I need to stick by it. And as always, I have the Mystic Mondays Tarot deck by Grace Tuong, which is my favorite deck. Everybody knows it by now. The illustrations are amazing, so buy it if you want to. But I'm just going to be mixing. I'm not even going to separate the Major Arcana from the Minor Arcana. I'm just going to pick like 2 random cards, and we'll just have to see what prompt that is. Alright, so I'm going to split this in half, and we'll just see what our first card for the summer is. Why is it backwards? We have The Moon, which is to read an underrated or like underhyped book. All right, so I feel like for this card, The Moon, for an underrated, underhyped book, I feel like I'm gonna be following Mafalda's advice from Mafalda's reading. Go subscribe to her right now. She mentioned Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown as one of her favorite books of either last year or this year, and I feel like that's a really underrated book. At least Mafalda also thinks so, and I really want to get to it, and so I feel like that might be a good option for the summer and for me to finally get to a book that I've been wanting to get to for a while, and I feel like it is somehow underrated and underhyped. So I feel like for this card I'll be reading Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. I'm gonna mix this again and we'll just have to see what our other card is. All right, and another prompt for my little summer TBR is the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know how I got two major arcana cards, but for the Wheel of Fortune, I have to randomize my Goodreads TBRs, so we'll just have to see what book comes up from there. So here I have my Goodreads open. I'm using my iPad because I'm using my phone to film this, so we'll just have to go in my one to read, and we'll just have to randomize it. Okay, I'm gonna start by author because I feel like that could be like the most mixed. So we'll just have to, I really can't see shit, so I'm just gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna pick one. Hold up. Okay, so we got When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. All right, this is actually a book that I've been meaning to read for a while now, so that might actually be good. That might actually be a good one. So for the Wheel of Fortune, I'll be reading When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. And yeah, just to recap my little physical TBR here, we have Queenie by Candace Carter-Williams, The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater, The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, Ray Bear by Jordan Fueco, and As Filhos do Capitão by Maria Duenas. And for the two tarot cards that I picked, for the Moon, the underrated, underhyped card, I picked Black Girl Unlimited by Echo Brown. And for the Wheel of Fortune, which was to randomize my Goodreads TBR, it came up with When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. So that is my little summer TBR for now. If I manage to get to all these books kind of soon, maybe I'll do an August one and a September one. But for now, this is my overall summer TBR. And hopefully some of these books will get me out of my reading slump because I have been having the worst time and I just want to fall in love with reading again. Hopefully some of these will manage to do the trick. And if not, well, I just have to keep searching for books that will get me out of fear. As always, if you enjoyed watching this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content, and I'll see you in my next video. I hope you have a nice day, and remember that life is worth reading.